Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Mr. Lynn. Hope you're having a great day. I'm sitting here in my garden with my gardening hat. See, it's important to have a gardening hat to keep the sun off your skin. Also, Mr. Lynn needs a haircut, so it's helpful in a couple ways. But I'm sitting here in my garden. This is my tomato plant we're next to. It's a cherry tomato plant. Check it out. I got some beautiful cherry tomatoes right there. Oh, look at those things. Yum. And a couple flowers, and those will turn into tomatoes shortly. Here I got some spinach. Super excited about all my plants. I'm really excited about my cucumber plant. It's over here on this trellis, and my favorite thing about the cucumber plant is the tendrils. Can you see these right there? The tendrils wrap around things and help plants grow up, and cucumber plants grow up on kind of like a vine. So this is an old stand I found from a table saw. Turn it upside down and I'm making a trellis out of it, so that's pretty cool. Now I've been working in my garden a lot, and I'm really excited about my third garden over here. Oof. This is it's not in the ground yet, but I got some bamboo plants over there and some sunflowers that are growing. And I decided to just make a whole garden bed all around the bamboo screen. It's gonna be amazing. So I've been working in my garden every day. It's been very relaxing and very satisfying. And one thing that I have noticed is a lot of butterflies, which is a good thing with gardens. Now, the most beautiful butterfly that I've seen is it's a black swallowtail butterfly. And so today, I thought I'd draw one. And figured it'd be a fun kind of step-by-step how to draw activity. So let's go look at a picture of a black swallowtail or butterfly and draw it. They look kind of complicated, but when you break them into geometric and organic shapes, pretty easy to draw. Whew. And here's a picture of the butterfly they were talking about today. So nice. Alright kids, so here is a really simple drawing of this butterfly. Blacktail, no, what's it called? A black swallowtail. It's a really unique looking butterfly, and man, what really caught my eye, as you saw in the picture, was most of it's black. It's got a splash like yellow and orange, and then the blue at the bottom of the tail is just amazing. It's not a lot of blue, but man, really incredible. So I'm gonna go through this. I already drew this, but I'm gonna kind of go through and talk about the shapes and the lines, because some things can appear complicated to draw, but they're actually quite simple when you break them down into simple shapes. So starting with the head, to me this is like an oval. However, one part of the oval is pinched. Now I already drew it in pencil with the rule of draw light so you know it's right, and then go darker or trace with the marker. So I'm going to draw this, or trace this, in the same way that I drew it. Starting with the head, which is kind of like an oval, but I pinched the bottom. Kind of like a teardrop, but actually, if you flip it upside down, it's like a water droplet, or a teardrop. Now, the body is kind of like a long, skinny oval, right? I'm not going to draw the oval through the head. I am just going to start here and draw it down. Back up and around, stop at the head. Now, the top of the wing, to me, if you drew it in one long continuous line, it's like a big sad face. It's just a big arc. I started from the middle, well, almost the middle of the left side of the paper, so the top, bottom, this is about the middle, and all the way across. Now when I draw a long line like this part of my finger, or this part of my hand right there, is an anchor. It stays in one place, and I kind of pivot off that part of my hand, and that helps my lines to be nice, continuous, and smooth. So I pivot. You can kind of watch me pivot off the bottom of my hand, that part right there. So I'll continue with the top of the wing. So really, I mean, can you see the big sad face? Oh, such a big sad face. It's a simple and funny way to describe it, but I do think that simplicity helps when you draw, right? Now, from the bottom of the body, I'm going to do a gentle curve line that's going to meet the tip of the wing. Of course, I'm tracing this in marker, and you're going to, because this is a YouTube video, you guys can stop and go back and forth through this. Later, I'm going to trace it again. What I want you to do, I guess, is to pretend that what I'm doing now is in pencil. I'm making this in the very simple shapes. And if you can pretend this is in pencil, later I'm going to come back and trace it again, but I'm not going to trace all of it. Like, here's another pencil drawing I did. Same shapes, but when I go trace it with a marker, I'm not going to trace every single part of my pencil line. But if you can pretend this marker's a pencil, because this is what you're doing, that would be good. Here you got a right angle, which goes to the left, a right angle, which goes to the right, and then a curved line to connect it to the bottom of the wing. This butterfly, like most butterflies, is symmetrical. So what you do on one side, you need to do on the other. Both sides match, makes it symmetrical. The antenna at the top, got a curved line and some kind of organic shape. Now at the bottom, and this is the part of the butterfly I love the most, this shape, right? Now there, on the wings, there's some color patterns from the butterfly, which are shapes. But I'm gonna draw two curved lines, and inside these curved lines I'm gonna draw the shapes, and that'll help me make it symmetrical. So, much like the top of the wing is like half of a sad face, I'm going to repeat that curved line just a little bit farther down the body. Just a curved line there. And this line will be repeating the bottom of the wing, right? Okay, now I just drew that in marker. That's a Sharpie. I want you to pretend that you're doing this with a pencil. So when I drew this with the pencil the first time, this is exactly how I drew it. I only used marker so that you could see the lines better, because sometimes pencil on these videos are hard to see. So you can pretend that this is your drawing. Right? This is mine, but just like the one I drew just now, and or traced in marker, here we've got pencil. Now, because it's pencil, I don't need to go back and trace all the lines. Because when you look at this butterfly, you don't really see this line there. I just drew it to kind of help me draw the shape of the wing. So I will start, like I started the last one, shape of the head. And then I'll draw the body. Just like last time, I'm going to draw the top of the wing. Anchoring this part of my hand. That part stays on the table, and it makes a good pivot point to draw a continuous line. Some people do like this little which is okay. I used to do that too. But over time I learned how to pivot from the base of my hand to keeping it on the table. Smooth pivot makes for a nice line. Do that for the top of the wing. Now, when it comes to the bottom of the wing, I am going to trace this part, but when I get to this line, I am not going to go here. I'm just going to go down. So, or up rather. Same with the tail here. And I got my right angle. Come over to the left side. So drawing with pencil first is something I recommend. I mean, I've been drawing my whole life. I still do it. Just because with pencil you can draw light. And then once you know it's right, you can trace it, or you can choose not to trace it. And as you can see, some of these lines I did not trace. There's my antennas. Boom. So that's kind of the shape of the butterfly. Step one, and again, pretend this is pencil, but step one was drawing all the shapes for the wings and for the body. Step two is tracing your pencil lines, but you don't trace all the lines. Just the ones that are kind of the perimeter of the shape of the butterfly. Notice I didn't trace these because I'm going to put some shapes in here. This black swallowtail has some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shapes that make up the wings. So let's get into the pattern. All right, kids. So just to review, now this is my first drawing. I did this in marker. I want you to pretend that you do this in pencil. Draw all those different shapes which comprise the whole butterfly, and then you trace the parts you need. Notice I did not trace the line here or here or these two lines. Also didn't trace those two lines there. Right. Now here is the design where I traced the perimeter of the shape of the butterfly, and then I went in with pencil and I drew a lot of the shapes that make up the patterns on the back of the black swallowtail. I love, 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 love how this butterfly looks. There's so much contrast between the black, which is most of the color of its body, with the yellows and the oranges, and then the blue. Orange and blue are complementary colors, so they have a lot of contrast and a lot of pop. So I'm going to go ahead and trace these now. This is a pen which is not as thick as a Sharpie. This is what's it called? Focus Graphic, Sigma Graphic. They're not too expensive. You can get them from Michaels or Amazon. They're really good drawing pens. So on the body of the butterfly, these are, I would just best describe these lines as gentle smiley faces. From the pictures that I saw, the body of this butterfly is in little segments, which are little curved lines. And then there's little splashes of color, which I interpret as circles on the left and the right of the butterfly. Now, on the butterfly's head, there's also some splashes of colors. These are not eyes. They look like eyes with just two of them, and the picture that I saw had just two. I don't want the viewer to think these are the eyes of the butterfly, so I'm going to add more than one. You can see I drew all these patterns in pencil, tracing them in marker. Now, we drew these two lines earlier in pencil. Didn't trace them ever. I only keep them there to help me draw the patterns of shape and color inside that space. And later I'll color over these lines with a camouflage. I chose to make these shapes as rectangles. If you look at a black swallowtail, you might think they're better as rhombuses or triangles. It's really up to you. They're definitely, in real life, not rectangles. But because we're artists, we can make them into rectangles. I'm keeping symmetry in mind when I do on the right. I'm going to do on the left. Now, on the perimeter of the bottom of the wing, I noticed that there are these little like half circles of color. Really interesting. So that's what I drew in pencil on the bottom of the wing. Of course, you do it on one side, you do it on the other. I'll say that one for later. Above each kind of half circle, or you can also call these little sad faces, or it could be smiley faces, hey. But above each one of those, I just repeat that line with two of the same lines to make kind of like a crescent moon shape. And again, I got that from looking at the picture of the butterfly. I've seen them all over my garden, but I used a picture off the internet as my reference, just because it's kind of hard to get a picture of them when they're in my garden, and I don't want to like be fumbling for my camera when that beautiful butterfly is in front of me. I just want to look at it. So, anyways, I got two here and a bunch up the bottom of the wing. I had a hard time fitting. Oops, missed that one. I had a hard time fitting all these shapes in this space here. There's not a lot of space, so I'm kind of having to squeeze it in a little bit. If you gotta squeeze it too much, I wouldn't even do it. You don't want to squeeze it where it doesn't fit. So I'm not. Now little sad face or upside down smiley face. Little crescent shape. This to me reminds me of a fingernail. Kind of like a straight bottom and a long curved top. And I did that above every one of these crescent shapes. I did in pencil, and now you can see I'm tracing. Kind of run out of space there, so I'm not going to do them there. And if you wanted to, you could trace that line too. I chose not to, but you could. It's okay. So now I'm going to do the same patterns here, over here. All right. Well, there you go. That's the finished drawing. Black swallowtail butterfly. Pretty cool. This has been a 15-minute video, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here and then make a subsequent video about how to color it with value. There you go. Have a great day.